Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I wish to report that a bill entitled An Act to Provide for the Service of Trinidad and Tobago for the financial year ending on the 30th day of September 2022 was considered in Standing Finance Committee and passed without amendments. I now beg to move that it be read a third time and passed.
Honourable members, the question is that a bill entitled An Act to Provide for the Service of Trinidad and Tobago for the financial year ended on the 30th day of September 2022 be now read a third time and passed.
Division.
All right, honourable members, a division having been called, we have to wait 3 minutes when the announcement will be made for the members who are otherwise in the parliamentary complex to make their way to the chamber. So at the end of 3 minutes, we shall commence the vote. And as we are all aware, if a member's turn has passed while we are taking the count, the member will be allowed to vote once they are in the chamber before the vote is announced. The division will commence. Members are again reminded that even if the clerk has already passed the member in the usual voting sequence, once a member is present in the chamber before the division is announced, he or she will be called upon to vote.
Mr. Emmett?
Yes.
Mr. Rowley?
Yes.
Dr. Rowley? Mr. Alwari?
Aye.
Mrs. Robinson Regis?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Ms. Beckles?
Yes.
Mr. Hines?
Aye.
Mr. Dial Singh?
Yes.
Mrs. Webster Roy,
Aye.
Ms. Cujo,
Aye.
Dr. Gatsby Dolly,
Aye.
Mr. Ford, Mr. Gonzalez,
Aye.
Mr. McClatchy,
Aye.
Mr. Cummings, Mr. Cummings, Mr. Richards, Mr. Manning,
Yes.
Mr. Leons, Mrs. Morris Julian, Mr. Dinaberga, Mr. Scotland, Mr. Monroe, Mr. Lee,
Abstain.
Mrs. Prasad Bissessa,
No, I abstain and no to property tax. No to property tax. No to property tax. Abstain. Abstain.
Miss Amin, Miss Amin, Mr. Charles,
Abstain.
Dr. Munilal, Mr. Parry, Mr. Indar Singh, Dr. Budo, Mr. Hussain, Mr. Padarat, Ms. Haynes, Mr. Tanku,
Abstain.
Ms. Mohit,
Abstain.
Ms. Benjamin, Mr. Rambali, Dr. Ragbir, Dr. Ragbir,
Abstain.
Mr. Ram, Dr. Sitaram,
Abstain.
Mr. Ratiram, Madam Speaker, the result of the division is 20 members voted for and 17 members abstaining.
Honorable members, on a division, with 20 members voting for, no member voting against, 17 members abstaining, the motion for the third reading of the bill is carried.
A bill entitled An Act to Provide for the Service of Trinidad and Tobago for the financial year ending on the 30th day of September 2022.
Honorable members, leave has been granted to the Attorney General to make a personal statement. We shall now revert to this item of business. Attorney General.
Madam Speaker, I thank you for granting me leave in accordance with Standing Order 23 to provide a personal explanation to this House in relation to statements made during my contribution to the debate on the Appropriation Financial Year 2022 Bill 2021 on Friday, October 8, 2021. The statements were relative to the rental of properties under the government by the member for Siparia. My contribution was not read from a prepared speech at the time. I had official documents which I verily believed supported the statements which I made. In addition, the member for Siparia was not in the chamber at the time of my contribution and made no refutation upon the conclusion of my contribution. Further, no other member of the opposition took objection to my statements, nor was there any request for clarifications at the time of or upon conclusion of my contribution. It has come to my attention that the member for Oropouche East has since refuted my statements, which reflected upon the member for Siparia. In those circumstances, I withdraw my statements and hereby apologize to the member for Siparia.
Honorable members, at the fifth sitting of this second session, held on Saturday, 9th October 2021, the member for Oropouche East was granted leave to raise a motion of privilege in accordance with Standing Order 32. I indicated then that I would give my ruling at a later sitting, and I am prepared to now rule on the question of privilege raised by the member. The member alleges that the member for San Fernando West, the Attorney General, deliberately misled this House, and in support of this allegation cited the statements made by the Attorney General on Friday, 8th October 2021, during the budget debate. In the response, the Attorney General, a short while ago, provided a personal explanation of the utterances he made. He thereafter withdrew the statement and apologized to the member for Siparia. Honorable members, as the guardian of the privileges of this House, I must remind each of you that freedom of speech is regarded as the most valuable and most essential privilege enjoyed by members. Your words spoken in the course of proceedings are protected only to the extent that the privilege is not abused. I am satisfied that the Attorney General provided an explanation, withdrawal, and apology at the earliest opportunity. In these circumstances, I therefore find no prima facie breach of privilege warranting the attention of this House. I so rule. Leader of the House.
Thank you very kindly, Madam. Madam Speaker, I beg to move that this House do now adjourn to a date to be fixed. Madam Speaker, I am aware that there is a constitutional matter which needs to be dealt with, and so I am adjourning to a date to be fixed to allow for this to take place. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Honorable members, the question is that this House now do adjourn to a date to be fixed. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any against? I think the ayes have it. This House now stands adjourned to a date to be fixed.